Welcome, subscribers. Welcome, new viewers. How you doing? I'm Ion Prime. Thank you so much for joining me today. And looking at a couple of cool stories. One is Evercade. New Evercade cartridges are coming out very soon. And then a huge NES discovery was made in Michigan. This is really cool. And, leading along lines of the NES, I wanted to pull up 5 NES games in my collection that I would love to see like a modern port, whether it be just a remake or remaster or whatever. And I'll explain why. All that coming up at the end of this video. But first up, Evercade. They've announced 2 new cartridges they'll be releasing on August 28th. Visco Arcade 1 and 2 collections. Now, personally, I've never played any of these games in the arcade, but I mean, that's what's cool about these Evercade cartridges is that you get to, try out some games that you never had the opportunity to play, which is really neat about these. Now, the games, they do look very fun. Collection 1 has Andros Dunas, Drift Out, Go, 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 and others. And then Collection 2 has Breakers Bang Bead, Bang Bang Busters, and more. Yeah, they look pretty cool. And another thing out of this is that, Doom is going to be released very soon on Evercade. There'll be Doom and Doom 2, the PC versions, will be released on Evercade cartridges. Now, there's no date for this just yet, but they will be coming out at some point this year. And the other cool thing about it, it's going to be a red cartridge that'll come on. So, yeah, that'll be pretty cool stuff. But, yeah, some really exciting stuff coming out of Evercade. They've got that new handheld that'll be coming out soon, and reviewers have gotten early hands-on of that handheld, and they seem to really like it, and it does look pretty good in the couple of videos I've seen for it. And I have not played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, but obviously there is a big community that is enjoying that game right now. And yeah, there's some new paid DLC that is bringing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the game. This is pretty cool. Now, the DLC has all 4 turtles. Obviously, my choice would be Michelangelo. He was my favorite of the 4 turtles. You got the Pizza Fire van vehicle to race in, and then there'll be the New York City track will be added with part of that DLC as well. There'll be some new music inspired from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series added as well as part of that DLC. Now, you can get it standalone. It's $5.99 for it. If you bought, I believe it's the Digital Deluxe Edition, I think all of this is included in that. But, yeah, they've joined some DLC, like Minecraft has been a part of this, SpongeBob, Pac-Man, Mega Man, and then they have one more DLC pack coming up later this year. It'll actually be released in October. That will be for the Avatar anime series. Coming up in Sonic Racing Cross World. So, yeah, if you're a fan of the game, look forward to some other really good DLC coming out very soon. Okay, this is really cool. This is one of those 1 in a million finds that we read this story and it's like, man, I wish this could have happened to me. 97 copies of an unreleased version of the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo cart have been discovered in Michigan. Man, this is really cool. Now, they were in a box that was in a climate-controlled storage unit. So, number one, that was a great way to keep these games preserved. Now, each game was individually wrapped, which obviously helped preserve the game as well. And they each came with a manual. Now, there was no box, so so there was no actual box of these cartridges in. It was just the cartridge, the sleeve, and then the manual. And then, the person that found these actually took these to PSA, not WADA, thank goodness, took them to PSA to be graded. They did confirm that all the cartridges are real. These were made about 1995, I believe it said in the article, and they were supposed to be released, but just never did. And they gave them a grade, 97 total cartridges, 60 got 9.8s, 31 got 9.6s, 1 got a 9.4, and 5 got perfect 10. So this is pretty cool. Estimated value could be 5 figures for all these cartridges. So some really, really cool discovery. If you want, there's a lot more details in this as well, kind of where they came from and how this person got a hold of them. I've got the link to the story down in the description below. So definitely check that out. And yeah, really, really cool story there. And finally, a homebrew developer, he is looking into, if the Super Nintendo can actually play an arcade accurate version of Final Fight. Now, we had that game in the arcade, and it came to the Super Nintendo, but it was only 2 of the players, and you could only do 1 player. You couldn't do 2 players simultaneously for some reason. So this developer, they've actually gotten the first stage working, and they built it from scratch, so you can actually try it out. They've got a free download of the game for you to try, which again I will have down in the description below. You can run it on your Super Nintendo, or you can run it through an emulator as well. This first stage, and he's this developer is going to continue to work as he wants to discover a little bit more about the power of the Super Nintendo and what else he might be able to do with it, and maybe make the full playable arcade version of the game for the Super Nintendo. We shall see. Well, speaking of NES, again, I wanted to pull out 5 games that I think would be really cool to see, like a modern remake, remaster, or just to build a whole new game around. And one of the first ones that I would love to see, and I know it came out, there was a couple of versions, or one version at least, on the PlayStation 2, but that would be Gauntlet. And I would really love to see like a modern version of Gauntlet. Could it be like an action RPG maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Or just a dungeon crawler, because I mean you were kind of in a dungeon the entire game, battling all the ghosts and goblins and everything. But yeah, I would love to see like a modern version of Gauntlet released on modern platforms. I think that'd be really cool to see somebody what they could do with Gauntlet. Next up that I would love to see, and obviously we see shooters still to this day, and this is one of those games that a lot of people look back towards as far as inspiration for their games, but I would love to see a modern version of Life Force. And the main reason why is this had some really, really, really unique and very cool bosses to fight. And I would love to see what somebody could do with the bosses with modern hardware for Life Force. But I would really like somebody to take this game, and of course, Konami owns the IP, so I mean, Konami, come on, take this game, modernize it, bring it back to us on modern platforms. Now, this next game that I would love to see like a modern port of or modern remake of is we're from Tecmo Super Bowl, and we obviously have Madden, and that's a simulation football game, and it's fine. Good game to play, but we're really lacking like arcade type football games, and that's what we would need. That's what we need to go along with Madden. Now, I know the NFL license, that'd be kind of an interesting thing that they would have to discuss to try to figure that out. So it'd probably just be generic teams that they were actually able to do it. But I would love to see just a modern arcade football game, and I think Tecmo Super Bowl in that version or that world of Tecmo Super Bowl, I think it'd be really cool on modern platforms. Now, another game that I would really love to see on modern platforms, and a game that I enjoyed on the NES, even though I've only beaten it one time because it's just so freaking difficult, but that would be The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Now, I know there are some, it would be hard to get those zapper stages to work, being with modern TVs, but surely we can find some way to get that working. I don't know, but I would really love to see just a modern version of The Adventures of Bayou Billy. It'd be a really cool, just side-scrolling action game, kind of like maybe like a Dead Cells type game. Of course, this game wasn't that fast either, so I don't know if that. But anyway, I would love to see a modern version of The Adventures of Bayou Billy. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And finally, and I know we got different versions of The Legend of Zelda all throughout the history of Nintendo. And I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm probably going to upset a few people, but I could not get into, like Tears of the Kingdom. I could not get into that. I could not get into that style of play for Legend of Zelda, and the breakable weapons, and just not really knowing where I needed to go. I could not get into it. So I would love to see, and I know they did like Link's Awakening in that cute animation style, but I would love to see just a modern version of the original Legend of Zelda in that top-down style, just to update the graphics and just to give us some modern play styles in that overhead, because we are kind of missing that genre of game where it's just kind of an overhead RPG type game. And I think that would be really cool to see the original Legend of Zelda made like that. Well, I'm Ion Prime, folks. Thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you want to talk about anything that I've talked about today, do that down in the comment section down below. Love to have your comments. Like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. And any of the sources, some of the news stories I talked about today, those will be in the description as well. So go by and check out those sources, get some more details on the stories I talked about today. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see y'all back here tomorrow with some more gaming news. Thank you so much, my friends.